Are you guys with Viewpoints?
No.
Not Viewpoints, sorry, Highlander. Wrong one.
Hi. I'm actually a completely new reporter at Viewpoints over at RCC. And, okay. What was your name again? Tina? Okay. I forgot what that's.
He's new to this,
Yeah, I am.
but
Really? Okay. Because I also have another question too, because like I keep hearing all about this, like you're not supposed to have any bias, you're not supposed to have like all of this. It's confusing because like there's a guy that's literally the president of CPUSA at campus, and he's a new reporter. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know.
oh yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go around.
Alright everyone, we just got an update from facilities. We are able to stay in the back, but not the sides, and you can stay in the back as long as you do not block the doorways or any exits. So please arrange yourselves in that way. Yeah, and if everyone can take a seat who is wandering around, they're on their way up.
Are you a candidate or did you sign up? So I signed up, but I couldn't go to the end of the so did you tell them? Okay, that's fine. I mean, you're already
Hello.
Yeah, it's just because they're gonna call their name out loud, like when the thought of come to speak. So we. Why did you
earlier, I noticed that there are not enough seats for members of the public. I try to accommodate as best as I can. The best that I can ask is if ECAB members and ASUCR officials, I hate to ask this, but can you sit on the floor over there to make room for our public members, please? Where is the public microphone? Ricardo, are you okay with that? Yes. There's some more seats up front if any members of the public want to sit. If not, that's completely fine as well. Can people hear me in the back? Thank you. We'll get started in just 1 second.
We were supposed to attend this at a meeting, but like, oh, okay, don't worry about that. It's your turn. No. I'm at the. Okay, I'll take care of that. Just come up.
I call this meeting to order at 7:44 p.m. In the spirit of Rupert and Jeanette Costa's founding relationship to our campus, we would like to respectfully acknowledge and recognize our responsibility to the original caretakers of this land, water, and air, the Cahuilla, Tongva, Luiseño, and Serrano peoples, and all of their ancestors and descendants, past, present, and future. Today, this meeting place is home to many indigenous peoples from all over the world, including UCR faculty, students, and staff, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these homelands. Roll call. President Pro Tempore Choi. Present. Chas Senator Khan.
Present.
Chas Senator Cologne. Present. Chas Senator Shriram.
Present.
Chas Senator Ho.
Present.
Chas Senator Liu excused. Chas Senator Cannon excused. Chas Senator Nguyen.
Present.
Chas Senator Campos.
Present.
Chas Senator Shaw. CNAS Senator Hayter.
Present.
CNAS Senator Trutali excused. CNAS Senator Sue excused. CNAS Senator Ho.
Present.
BCOE Senator Narasimhan.
Present.
BCOE Senator Petey Kale.
Present.
SOE Senator Torrell.
Present.
SPP Senator Pizarro. Thank you so much, Senate Secretary Plummer. Sorry, minor technical difficulties. on to approval of the agenda. May I get Senate to have a friendly amendment to remove the following? SBW 24003 and then SBW 24010. Those two pieces of legislation did not meet the requirements to pass the Legislative Review Committee and can therefore not be presented to Senate. The motion would be to remove both pieces of bylaws. President Pro Tempore Choi.
I move to make a friendly amendment to remove SBW 24003 and SBW 24012. 010.
Can I have a second? Senator Khan.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 14-0-0. This would be the new agenda that reflects those changes. May I get a motion to approve this week's agenda? Senator Narasimhan. Slide it up. Sorry, 1 second. What'd you say? Go ahead.
I move to approve this week's agenda.
Thank you, Senator Narasimhan. Can I get a second? Senator Cologne. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Is that an abstain? Oh no, just water, sorry. Motion passes 14-0-0. Moving on to approval of previous meeting minutes, may I get a motion to open up Senate meeting minutes number 14? Senator Khan.
I move to open Senate meeting minutes number 14.
A second. Senator Shriram.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those, sorry, no. Is anyone opposed? I see none. Here are Senate meeting minutes number 14. Senate, do you have any questions for me? Or a motion? Senator Pizarro. Just let it go.
Hello? Okay. Is it on?
All right. I move to approve Senate meeting minutes number 14.
Thank you. A second. A second. Senator Nguyen.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 14-0-0. I wish my voice sounded that powerful in a microphone, Senator Nguyen. All right. We are now moving into public forum. Usually there is a sign-in sheet. There will not be a sign-in sheet this week to protect the identity of those who speak from the public. That being said, we do need to keep track of how many public speakers we are, so if you could just leave us your initials, we would appreciate that. You don't have to by any means. But just know that you'll be signing on to a singular sheet which will be taken from the podium before the next person, so your identity will be kept safe with us. That being said, if you wish to not have your name, identity, association, etc. published in any public documents, including those that ASUCR does not control, please do not share that information verbally with us. When the Executive Vice President indicates, you will have 3 minutes to speak with time starting on your first word. In order to have more speaking time, you will need a motion to pass through the Senate for an extension of time. That being said, I would urge you to keep it to 3 minutes if you can, so that we can hear from other members of the public. I want to be able to get to everyone who wants to speak, so I want to make space for that. So 3 minutes per person if you can, please. Please note that there may be recordings of this meeting, etc., that I cannot control. That I cannot control, so please protect yourself. Help me help you by not sharing any identifying information if you wish to not be identified. That being said, is there any, one more thing. My business card is at the podium. If more is needed, I can provide more, but my information as my business is on my business card is also at the bottom of this slide. So if you want to be connected to me or any other ASUCR officials through me, please take a picture of that and get in contact. I expect a huge flow in my inbox, so please give me some time to respond. That being said, is there anyone from the public who would like to speak? I saw this hand first. First year fellow Miranda. First year fellow Miranda. Can you make sure that mic is on, please?
Good evening. My name is Noon, and I'm a second-year biology major. I am here on behalf of the ASUCR Board to express our concerns on the boycott and divestment from corporate resolution, otherwise known as SRW24005. Hillel represents the majority of the Jewish community at UCR. Last year, 182 students attended our programs. I am the only Jewish speaker who will be speaking today for Hillel, not because there are few of us, but because of recent events. Because Jewish students at UC Santa Barbara are harassed for wanting a Jewish state to exist. Because when Jewish students at UC Berkeley attend a Jewish event, they get strangled. Because when students here at UCR merely participate in Jewish events, they get harassed. In light of the recent anti-Semitic incidents at UCLA, UC Berkeley, and UCSB following BDS resolutions, you can't be surprised that Jewish students here feel intimidated. Especially since in the past few months, many UCR Jewish students themselves have experienced verbal harassment for just being Jewish. And many are afraid of getting into unnecessary violent confrontations. When we heard about this action, we were appalled to hear that ASUCR decided to discuss this BDS resolution, not just because it is filled with distorted facts and incorrect information, but also because this resolution came into being apparently less than a week ago, in a process which blatantly intends to exploit peer pressure and the pressure of a narrow time frame to pass a resolution without the proper deliberation. This resolution was proposed through a hasty process while ignoring the due diligence of ASUCR. If the proper time had been given and all relevant parties discussed this, we would have time to fully examine how BDS is an anti-Semitic organization, established by a group of anti-Semites who glorify terror and call for the destruction of Israel. ASUCR should represent the entire student body and help create a positive and safe learning and living environment on campus. This was a sentiment that I tried to convey last quarter when I came in front of you and demanded a rational approach to the organizing tensions. I should not be back here after less than a quarter of a month. We, the Jewish community on campus, feel that by accepting this resolution, ASUCR will contribute to, rather than diffuse, the hostile environment and add an unnecessary tension between various groups. It has been made clear to me, in no uncertain terms, that no matter what I say here, this resolution will go through regardless. Last quarter, I asked you to do your jobs. And by passing this resolution, you are doing the exact opposite. By passing this resolution without proper discussion, you are going to be the ones who are responsible for the tensions that will occur in the future. As a final act, I'm leaving this flag here. This one small flag, which doesn't compare to the size of the other flags. This flag is a reminder that you are committed to being fair to all students. I ask you to not let others desecrate this one flag, which is not genocidal, and a symbol, rather, for Jews everywhere that we have a hope for a just existence.
Your time is concluded.
Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak? I see this hand. Sorry, I'm gonna go by what I see first. I will get to every single hand, I promise.
Your time is concluded.
Your 3 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you, Senate, for this time. I'm a Latino, a Hispanic. English is my second language. I am a second generation of an immigrant family. My mother's side from Michoacan, my father's from Jalisco. My family started in this country, in the fields, digging. I'd just like to share some stats with the Senate before I get into my main points. The DEI office here at UCR has said that about 40% of us are Latinos. That is the majority of the ethnicity here at the campus. About 80% of the people who receive financial aid here are fully funded. A UCR news article by J.D. Warren in the March of last year said that about half of us receive Pell Grants, so a lot of low-income families. And the U.S. Census Bureau found that about 55% of Riverside, California is Hispanic or Latino. And that was 2023 statistics. I'd also like to share statistics from a different point of view. McDonald's, according to their diversity statement, about 70% of restaurant staff is Hispanic or Latino. According to Zippia for Burger King, about 40% is minorities. The majority of those people, Hispanic or Latino. Starbucks, it's a similar story. Hispanic people making up about a fifth of the company. Pepsi, we have a facility in our own backyard, actually here in Riverside on Sycamore Canyon Boulevard. Coca-Cola, we have 2 facilities nearby, Ontario and Rancho Cucamonga. My concern is that with the passing of SR W24005, we are hurting the working families, the Hispanic, Latino immigrant families that have come to bring us here. Many of these places, I've worked in fast food myself, are operated with Hispanic, Latino people doing the hard labor. By boycotting these companies, which many of my fellow peers here would like to do, we are not only hurting the companies, companies are made of people. And by voting yes, you would be voting against our largest ethnic group here at UCR. Voting no is not saying yes to Israel. It's just saying that there is a better path forward. So I encourage the Senate to reconsider. And I'd like to emphasize what was said to the abstaining senator at the LRC. History is being recorded. Please do not betray my community. Thank you.
I saw, yeah, in the red, I'm so sorry. I saw the
I never thought I would have to ever stand in front of a crowd of a few hundred people and give yet another speech to convince others that spending money on bombs to kill children isn't a good idea. So let us consider what this resolution really entails. It simply states that our university's funds should not be spent on bombs. I repeat, This resolution only aims to stop spending money on bombs being used to kill innocent civilians. Nothing to do with a political stance, nothing to do with endorsing Hamas, and nothing to do with anti-Semitism. We reject the false narrative that equates standing for Palestinian lives with anti-Semitism. We stand in solidarity with all marginalized communities, including Jewish individuals who share a commitment to ending oppression in all its forms. To those of you senators here today considering voting no or abstaining, or those in the audience in opposition to the resolution, I brought a few reflection questions upon you today. Hind Rajab was a 6-year-old trapped under fire in Gaza, begging for help, hiding inside her uncle's car surrounded by the dead bodies of her relatives. The 2 paramedics searching for her were found killed, and the ambulance vehicle was later found bombed. Was it justified to murder Hind because anything else would have been anti-Semitic? Just today, civilians gathered waiting for aid to arrive in northern Gaza and instead were met with IDF tanks shooting at anything they saw walking. 105 were killed in that span of a few minutes, and 700 were injured. Was killing civilians who were trying to get basic humanitarian aid self-defense? 12-year-old Sidra Hassuna's body was found hanging on a wall with the bottom half missing after fleeing to Rafah, the one identified refuge zone in Gaza. Yet the blame continuously falls on Hamas. Because killing 13,000 children combats anti-Semitism. But we also can't forget the Israeli hostages being held by Hamas, the hostages that Israel denied being freed multiple times in exchange for a ceasefire. To vote no or abstain from this resolution would be to turn a blind eye to the suffering of countless innocent people. Just for comparison, UCR's population is about 27,000, and over 30,000 have been killed since October 7th, basically wiping out UCR's entire population in one. I urge you to vote yes to divestment, not out of animosity towards any group, but out of a deep-seated commitment to basic human rights. Furthermore, I encourage each and every one of you to remember why you were elected to serve as senators. You were chosen by your peers to represent their interests and make important decisions on their behalf. The power you hold as senators is not to be taken lightly. It's a responsibility to enact meaningful change and uphold your values of justice. So do what you can with your power and privilege. Do something that can help those overseas just by sitting in that chair and voting yes. It is in your hands to become the 3rd school in the nation to divest from genocide and stand on the right side of history. Anjana, Amaraya, Viraj, Nadia, Kevin, Tisha, Philson, Alex, Ray, Rashid, Juan, Abby, Layla, Kaden, Grace, Crystal, and Naya. Your names will be remembered as those who stood with or against humanity. Thank you.
I see the one No Borders, No Walls t-shirt. Also, just while you're setting up, for the members in the back, if any of you want to sit, we do have a couple seats up front on this side. Just to let you know. But is it possible that the community can help me not block the exit just for fire safety reasons? Other than that, you're free to stand or sit wherever you want. Your 3 minutes will begin shortly.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Nayeli Isabel Dominguez, and I'm here representing from Mecha the UCR, and we support the boycott, divestment, sanctions resolution. I am a first-generation student here at UCR, and I am someone who does have financial aid, I get Pell Grants, etc. But the situation in Gaza demands our attention and action now. We as a community committed to justice and ethical conduct need to take a stance against such oppression. Divesting from such entities aligns with our morals and ethical responsibilities as an institution of higher learning. I advise that if you care about the students that voted you into your positions of power, then listen to your peers and vote on this resolution and vote yes in divesting our students' fees from companies complicit in genocide. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yes.
Hello, Senate. Hello, Gally. I first want to go ahead and mention I am very happy to see the amount of turnout we had at today's Senate meeting, given that we do not often have this much student interaction. My name is Angel Enriquez. I was voted to be this year's Vice President of External Affairs, and I and my office stand unapologetically to support this resolution and to the Palestinian community here on campus. I am a Mexican, I am from East Los Angeles, and we cannot allow the same precedent that this country was founded on genocide and violence and ethnic cleansing, to happen to Palestine. In Mexico, the same things happened, where indigenous people were run off their land and faced the same amount of violence. Here in student government, we have witnessed across the state of California and the UC moments where students' free speech have been targeted and have been harassed. At UC Santa Barbara, the Multicultural Center was shut down simply because students went ahead and supported Palestine in order to go ahead and succumb to the needs of Zionist students at UCSB. Their Senate has refused to pay the students who support Palestine, and that is a true disservice to student government and the student voice as a whole in the UC. Here at UC Riverside, we are often used as the most diverse UC campus card, but the UC always turns a blind eye to our needs. We have a diverse student body and we have diverse needs, and my office goes ahead and uplifts the needs of marginalized students. And therefore, we must uplift the needs of Palestinian students. Whether it is that you are Palestinian or not, we need to condemn the atrocities the state of Israel's government is committing against innocent Palestinians. I do want to highlight the fact that many Palestinians that are being murdered are under the age of 18. This is an act of genocide, and we must condemn it. We cannot stay silent in this moment. We need to go ahead and stand together. We need to go ahead and commit to that promise that we make to students to accurately represent them and to accurately meet their needs. We cannot simply turn a blind eye to where our money is going. Just how we have certain restrictions as to where we could buy certain things or which certain vendors we could use, this policy essentially makes sure that we are spending ethically, that none of our money is getting used to fund a genocide that's going across the world and affecting the community that is so marginalized here at UCR. I do want to say that I am very, very happy to see the amount of students that have turned out. And Senate, you should all realize that you never see this many students at any meeting. That this is a pressing issue, that we must all listen to what the students have to say.
Thank you so much. I saw, sorry, the maroon? Yes. One of you. While you're setting up, just a little reminder for those in the back, if you're raising your hands, I promise I'll get to you. It's just kind of hard for me to see that far, but we will head down that direction, I promise. Your 3 minutes will begin shortly.
I stand here before you today, pleading with my fellow students to stop funding the murders of my family. These past 4 months, 14 of my family members were massacred by Israel's genocidal campaign. More than half of them were children. I was especially close to my 8-year-old cousin Bisan, who was slaughtered by an Israeli airstrike this January. She was buried without her head attached to her body because they could not find it amongst the rubble of our demolished home. I implore you, I no longer want to be complicit in the bombings of my family. As the primary author of this resolution, the BDS Boycott, Divestment, Sanctions Resolution calls for ASUCR to divest the over $1 million it receives yearly from companies that are complicit in the Israeli genocide. More specifically, this resolution would prohibit ASUCR from purchasing or issuing reimbursements for items on the boycott list, which includes companies and corporations that directly fund Israel's war crimes and crimes against humanity. Supporting an end to ASUCR's financial genocide complicity does not come at the expense of another community. And there is absolutely nothing controversial nor anti-Semitic about divesting student fees from a genocidal military. Israel has killed over 31,000 Palestinians in its military operation in Gaza since October of 2023, including 15,000 children. The genocide in Gaza has surpassed the 140-day mark. The need for boycott, divestment, and sanctions is more pressing than ever. Israel has not only committed war crimes in Palestine, but has bombed Yemen, Egypt, Lebanon, Iraq, and Syria within just the past 4 months. Not only did Beit Taslim, an Israeli Jewish human rights organization, determine in January 2021 that the Israeli state and its military were guilty of inciting apartheid state against the Palestinian people, but the International Court of Justice has pleaded that Israel is plausible of committing genocide. The University of California system has made history in 1986 by divesting $3 billion in funds from industries that were complicit in South African apartheid. The divestment movement is nothing new to the UCs. ASUCR has already set a strong precedent of passing divestment and BDS in 2014, in 2016, in 2021, and in 2022. Several resolutions have also been passed in ASUCR that acknowledge the Israeli genocidal campaign and recognize U.S. complicity in funding the genocide. Recently, UC Davis and UCLA made history by passing BDS resolution on their campus similar to this one. They've divested over $20 million. We as students demand an end to funding the genocide. We demand our senators to vote yes and divest from corporations complicit in genocide. We implore you to join UC Davis, join UCLA, and continue to the precedent set and vote yes on BDS.
I'm sure we'll hear from you later on as a primary author as well. Your friend that gave Chris spot, do you want to go? In the black? Yeah.
Good evening, Senators. I'm here tonight to talk about this resolution, but more importantly, I'm here to talk about Gaza. I'm here to talk about us washing our hands of the blood that UC Riverside has forced upon us. I'm here to talk about the dire situation in Gaza. For the past 5 months, Israel has been forcibly starving Gaza, leaving millions of people food insecure and leaving infants to die of starvation. Today, thousands of starving Gazans stood on Rashid Street waiting for any minuscule piece of aid to save their families when Israel opened fire on innocent civilians. They murdered 104 people and injured over 700. Senators, you have the power tonight to wash your hands of the blood that the university has forced upon us. UCR has historically been a trailblazer in serving the oppressed. We've had Costo Hall programs for over 70 years. Your EVP just read a land acknowledgement a minute ago, recognizing the fact that this land has been ethnically cleansed for the university to exist upon. The same thing is happening in my home right now. We're proud to have an insanely diverse and vibrant campus, and we are thought leaders in serving the underserved. The Zionists here want you to believe that this is a controversial issue that UCR students do not support. Clearly, UCR students support this resolution. In reality, divestment has passed 4 times on this campus, and dozens of student organizations have signed off in support of this resolution, including UAW, our student union, Underground Scholars, STEM Connections Club, the Thai Student Union, the Black Student Union, people from Meta are here represented today, future teachers of color, and dozens more. They can't stand here and say this isn't what UC Riverside students want. Each and every single one of you was elected to this post to represent your students, and they're here in front of you begging for you to stand with us. Today, you senators can refuse. You can refuse to fund the bloodshed, you can refuse to fund the genocide, you can refuse to fund the ethnic cleansing, you can refuse to fund the murder of Hiba's family. You can refuse, you have the power here tonight. That is what your position is for. You've been in this position for months. Now you can finally do something that is worthwhile, that you can look at your children and you can say, ethnic cleansing and apartheid and genocide was going on in Gaza, and I stood firmly against it. The power that I had to remove $1 million out of the hands of companies complicit in Israeli genocide, you removed that money from that hands. You washed your hands of the blood. Lastly, I want to rebut some of the statements here. The reason why they had to give you examples at UC Santa Barbara and UCLA of students being harassed is because they're trying to insult your ability to fact check. They can't give you any examples here at UC Riverside. They can't. Because the students who have been constantly silenced and berated and harassed are sitting in front of you here today wearing kufiyas. They're carrying up flags, and they're here begging you to divest whatever money we can to make sure that we are not funding this genocide. Thank you so much.
In the back, yes, you, with the jacket.
I want to talk about what BDS actually stands for. Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions. It is a global movement in an effort to try to advocate for Palestinian rights and against the many illegal settlements currently in the West Bank. BDS was not created in October. It has been years since this movement has been formed and has been gaining traction in those years. But now, more than ever, BDS is needed. Right now, in Gaza, millions are displaced. Tens of thousands are wounded, 30,000 dead. Israel has been declared to be committing war crimes by many international human rights organizations. It has been declared by the ICJ to be plausibly committing genocide. And yet, through all of this, Gaza's ruthless and devastating siege continues. Every single day we do not take action against the corporations that are complicit in the genocide of Gaza is every single day that we are wasting our time. Right now is the best moment to show that we, as UCR students, should not and will not condone what is happening to the people of Gaza. Which is why I, as a representative of the Young Democratic Socialists of America here in UCR, urge this body to vote in favor of this resolution. Thank you.
In the maroon.
Assalamu everyone. Upon everyone here. I'm gonna do a little something that's not very traditional. I'm not gonna look back, but raise your hand if for the past, let's say since October, you've seen at least one photo of something or someone that you cannot even recognize as a human being. Raise your hand if you've read a list with thousands of names on it that had 30 names of at least from the same family. Raise your hand if you had a conversation about someone and they expressed to you how little they can do here in the West. Everyone almost in this room has risen their hand. To say that we in the West have no use of our efforts or no ability to change anything is a misstatement. We live in a society that is trying to convince us that. We live in a place that tells us there's not much we can do, but we can look and reshare and repost and talk and spread the word. But in this moment of time, we have a lot that we can do. Capitalism exists in this country, obviously, so money is going to hurt, and this is your guys' position to change and make active change in this world that will help every single student in this room. I've had a couple conversations myself with some people. One was with counseling here at UCR. I was like, I don't know what I can do. Like, I have so much feelings that make me want to do ABC3, but I can't do anything. And they expressed to me that I need to turn off my phone, shut myself out, and make sure to take care of my mental health. Look at this first world problem solution. I urge you guys not to give us that same answer today. We need to do active change. We need to be people who are leaders and pioneers of the future. And we cannot do that if we're witnessing a genocide and we're complicit in it and we're silent, or we're unable to even vote on a resolution. So please, do the right thing tonight, and remember all the hands that were up a couple seconds. Thank you.
I see a hand that was that way with a bunch of bracelets that just caught my eye first. It was very sparkly.
I'm advocating for the University of California, Riverside to divest. UCR is complicit in the genocide of the Palestinian people and the ongoing terror in the Middle East. As a first-generation Syrian refugee, I vividly remember the trauma I faced growing up during the Syrian civil war. I remember my neighbor being beheaded in front of his parents on his way to receive medical treatment. I remember never having the dreams or hopes for a future because I didn't think a future was possible for me. I remember hearing the shrieks of my classmates as a bomb dropped close to us, shaking us to the cold floor of the school bus, and waiting hours before I could tell my parents I survived. When I came to the US, my very first friend at an American school told me that she couldn't be friends with me anymore because her dad thought I was a terrorist. I couldn't go to sleep because silence was a foreign object to me as I was normalized to the sounds of gunshots and bombs. I was 8 years old. My experience describes not even a sliver of the trauma and racism that Palestinians face today. We are not just numbers and statistics, we are real people with real experiences. Israel has not only continuously terrorized Palestinians, but has also stolen Syrian land as they occupied the Golan Heights. Not a single country recognizes Golan Heights to be Israeli land except for the United States, who recognized it during the war when Syrians didn't have the ability to fight against Israeli occupation. This shows you that Zionism was never about providing a safe haven for Jewish people, as Jews, Christians, and Muslims already lived in Palestine, but rather to venture on a quest for colonialism that the US has conveniently backed for years. Israel has bombed Syria for as long as I can remember, most recently bombing a residential civilian building in Damascus, the capital of Syria. They have bombed Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, Iraq, Palestine, and more. I ask you to see Palestinians as well as the people of the Middle East as human. I ask you to reflect on why it's so easy for you to support Ukrainians, but so difficult for you to support Syrians or Palestinians or anyone in the Middle East. I ask you not to wonder what you could have done during the apartheid of South Africa, or the invasion of Iraq, or the genocide of the Native Americans, or during the civil rights movement, but what you would do today. It's easy to condemn something that happened decades ago, but it takes bravery and humanity to stand up for what's right today. While this topic might be new for some, it is all too familiar to us, as we have been fighting for liberation for decades prior to October 7th. Palestine is not a marginal, nor a separate issue, but rather a part of all of us, because no one is free until all of us are free. Instead of using our funding to bomb Palestinians and people abroad, we could use it to better our university as a whole. Finally, I would like to leave you with a quote from professor and scholar Helka Tawil Suri. Gaza may force us to glimpse into the heart of darkness, but it equally reveals the heart of humanity that never gives up. Gaza is not a footnote, it is the larger-than-life shadow of the colonizer's sphere, a people that cannot be quelled. Gaza is our obligation. Thank you.
The first hand I saw was in the black long sleeve with a gray band around the wrist. Right down this aisle. No. Perfect.
Good evening to the members of the Senate. I am here speaking to all of you today as a representative on behalf of UCR's Black Student Union. I find it very fitting that I am addressing all of you on the last day of Black History Month, a month that highlights the brilliance and resilience of Black people in America, despite the years of struggle and oppression put on us by our government. A a month that many outsiders to the community seem to use as an annual excuse to give a half-baked apology for all of the atrocities that have happened to Black people in this country. It is my hope that after today, the students of UCR choose to no longer stand on the side of future apologists, but instead stand as current allies in solidarity with the innocent Palestinian people left to fight for their life today within the 24 square miles of Rafah and within the Strip of Gaza. The call is simple: boycott, divest, and sanction. This is not a call for violence or anti-Semitism or anything against the Jewish community. It is a call for the protection of innocent lives. Do not allow our student dollars to continue paving the way for genocide, and do not let fear be the reason that our campus allows further violence and hatred to continue. There is no upright solution if we continue to fund this violence with our tuition. The UC has been capable of divesting before for my people, with the apartheid in South Africa and with the riots in 2020. Today, I am pleading with you to do the same for the people of Palestine. The Black Student Union of UCR supports the liberation of all Palestinian people. As representative from the BSU, we support the BDS resolution on the floor today and strongly urge the senators to vote yes on divesting our student fees from companies complicit in genocide. We will not allow our student fees to continue funding this genocide, and we demand the university's immediate divestment of funds. Thank you for your time.
Up in the front, the neutral colored suit.
I'm gonna sound shaky because I can't stop crying hearing what has happened to my peers. But I just have to tell you guys one thing. The senators sitting in front of us who are on their laptops and typing away and doing other stuff, you're being disrespectful, unfair, and it's a disgrace to your position. And I say that as a transfer student who came in and was a 3-term student body president. I know your rules, and I know how your job is supposed to be, and you're being disrespectful.
With the black bracelet, yeah.
Thank you, Senators, for having all of us here today. My name is Linton Freund. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm proud to say my name up here today. I am a PhD student here at UC Riverside. I am also a Jewish American, and I'm a grandchild of a Holocaust survivor. I have heard too many times tonight at our local city council meeting, by our government, by faculty, that Zionism is the same as Judaism. That blindly supporting a government that is funding and perpetuating genocide against an entire group of people is what is required for Jewish safety. I am here to tell you that that is wrong. I wrote something down here, but it just doesn't really compare to how I feel hearing the stories of our fellow students. And I want to remind you that as senators, as students at this incredible school, that you have power. PhD students like myself went on strike for 2 months, and we showed the university our power. You have a chance to show more than the university your power. You have the chance to stand up against those who are cheering on the genocide of an entire group of people. You have the chance today to stop funding genocide. Do you hear that? To stop funding genocide. You all have that power. That is why we are all here. That is why we've been wearing keffiyehs every Wednesday. That is why I, as a Jew, stand here before you and tell you that Israel does not represent Jews everywhere, that Zionism is not Judaism, that genocide is not a Jewish value. And I have constantly wondered my entire life, how the entire world could be silent while my own family experienced genocide. But we are all witnessing it today. As we've heard, you go on your phones, you speak to your friends, your colleagues, your fellow students, you hear the stories of genocide today, happening today. And you as students have power in your hands to do something. I am urging you as a Jew, as a UCR student, as a graduate student, as a hopeful educator, that you do the right thing, that you stand on the right side of history, that you stand against Zionism, you stand against colonialism, you stand against apartheid and genocide for the sake of all humanity, for the sake of our collective liberation. Thank you for listening.
The red shirt. While he's setting up, can I get a show of hands of how many more members of the public who would like to speak? Just, okay, thank you.
Good evening, all. I'm an Iranian American and board member of the Iranian Student Association, speaking on behalf of the Iranian Student Association today. As an individual who has been raised with the core values of equality, inclusivity, and understanding basic human rights, I find myself questioning how others have let such oppression and suffering by the Palestinian people go unheard. I see Palestinian students and faculty begging for their voices to be heard by the university with no action being taken to support them. I see students struggling to engulf in their coursework, worried about whether or not their families are safe in Gaza. I scroll through my Instagram feed expecting to see more news about the atrocities and murders taking place in Gaza, all in the hands of Israel and the United States. Keep in mind, this is all happening while one of the most diverse campuses in all of the United States has chosen to invest their money towards Israel, an international war machine that has proven their intent of wiping out the Palestinian people and occupying land that is not theirs. 30,000 individuals, including at least 12,000 children and 8,000 women, have died in Gaza since October 7, while UCR continues to support Israel and corporations complicit in this ongoing genocide. The situation in Gaza demands our attention and action now. It is imperative that we, as a community committed to justice and ethical conduct, take a stand against such oppression. Divesting in such entities and ethical responsibilities. I urge UC Riverside to undertake a thorough review of its investment portfolio and identify any investments in companies involved with the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Additionally, I request an establishment of a transparent and accountable process of divesting from such entities and reallocating our funds towards ethical and socially responsible investments. Before I leave, I want to leave you all with a statement that has stuck with me amidst all of this oppression and violence experienced by the Palestinian people. Land you have to kill for is not yours. Land you have to die for is free Palestine. Thank you.
Up front in the black, yes.
$30,035. As of this morning, this is the amount of Palestinians murdered by the Israeli occupation forces and Israeli war machine since October 7. And nearly half of this number is children. Those same Israeli war machines are currently being funded by the UC system. The UC system consists of 10 campuses, one of them being UC Davis. UC Davis, our sister campus, has recently passed the resolution divesting their student government from all Israeli corporations, and it is imperative that we follow in their footsteps. It is imperative that we set an example for the rest of UC campuses. It is known that UCR prides itself on being one of the most diverse campuses in all of the United States, and also holds one of the largest populations of Middle Eastern students in all of the UC, but has chosen to invest over $1 million towards Israel, who is known for their international genocidal war machines, not only attacking Palestine, but Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and Egypt. Every step in the right direction is a step closer to a free Palestine.
We currently have over 40 clubs signed on as secondary authors in support of this resolution. Not all of them were able to send representatives to speak today, but we thank all of them. Your student body demands that you vote yes and divest for this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, just before we continue public comment, I'm trying to get that side of the room to be open so that there's more seating. So I don't know when that wall is going to open. So if you're near that wall, can you please move? I don't want anyone to get hurt. Yeah. Okay, just continuing, but please move away from the wall. I don't know how it collapses or it slides. I don't want to take that chance, please. There's tons of room on this side. There's seats. ASUCR members especially, you can sit in the middle. There's more seats on the side here, but don't take a chance. That being said, in the leather jacket, my staff suggested forming a line of speakers. I'm scared of it blocking an exit or even going out.
What if it has a limit? Like after this point, everyone has to sit down.
We could have them sit in the front row and then just all get up one
Yeah,
by
we
one.
can move out of the way for them. That way they
I would appreciate your online because I can't see them. Can we please move away from that wall? I think it's opening now. While that's happening, I'm so sorry. Maybe down the aisle if you would like to talk, just lining
Down
up.
the aisle, anyone who wants to speak, up to the last chair. That's it. No one else. Thank you guys.
Is Asha around? Asha, how many seats do I have over there?
About 100.
Once it reaches the last chair, that's all. Thank you.
Hey everyone, when that wall, is it gonna finish moving or is that it?
I was trying to wait for a pause.
Yeah, there's a pause now. So when that wall is finished moving, there are about 100 seats over there. I invite you all to go over there, but please, if you can help me, if you have already spoken or do not plan to speak, can you go over there so that I can see who wants to speak right here in front of me so I can make sure I get to everybody, please? We're just gonna take a quick break. I'm so sorry. I also have chairs up in the front here still. I have about 20 chairs. Since there's a lot of movement, can I get a motion from the Senate for a 5-minute break? Senator Hayter. I move to enter a 5-minute recess. I get a second, Senator Zorro. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 14-0-0. We're just taking a 5-minute break to rearrange. Thank you, everybody.
as long as I do it, like, she's gonna please me. It's 10 points. Right.
Alright, I'm gonna go put my water.
I set the timer to 10. I know that's right. I know that's so.
She don't want me to go home. I know. I've been writing it.
What kind of lemonade was that? It was like, that was a yellow. They're waiting for the
Hi everyone, please return to your seats. We will be getting started again momentarily. I call this meeting back to order at 8:54 p.m., starting off with where we left off. You may get started.
My name is Jennifer Doyle. I'm a professor of English here at UC Riverside. I have taught here since 1999. I'm here as a faculty member, deeply proud of the people who helped to write this resolution and bring it before the Senate, and I'm honored to speak before the Senate in support of that student movement. I'm a member of the American Studies Association, which passed a BDS resolution in 2013 after much mindful and thoughtful debate. I'm also part of the leadership team of the Association for the Study of the Arts of the Present, another academic organization. We just posted our commitment to BDS on our website and on our social media. President of the Board of Directors of Human Resources, Los Angeles, an independent, small, nonprofit art space in Chinatown. We committed to BDS in the fall. We committed to BDS after a member of our volunteer small ragamuffin arts group asked what we were doing to fight the normalization of genocide. We decided that as a collective that we had to take a public stand and fight the normalization of apartheid, genocide, of what Israel is doing to a whole people right now, and that we had to do it right away. I'm really proud, never been more proud to be a member of the faculty at UCR and to have the honor of working in classrooms with you all. And I will leave it there. I urge you to pass this resolution to vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we continue with members of the public, President Pro Tempore Choi would like to say something.
Hi everybody, I just wanted to make a quick comment about the senator's typing. Thank you all for coming here to speak. This is more people than I've ever seen for public comment in my 2 years of being Senate. This is honestly really amazing. public speaking. There are a lot of people here that we want to actively listen to, and we do that through taking notes on our laptops. I thank you all for keeping a keen eye on us and being critical of us. I really appreciate that. But I also just want to clarify that to defend my fellow senators. Thank you very much.
That being said, senators, please feel free to keep taking notes, and that will inform your vote later on. Can the meeting minutes please reflect that Senator Sue has joined us at 8:57 p.m. You may continue.
Hi everyone. I'm an alumni from the class of 2021, and I also once sat where you all sat. I served as a PCOE senator during my time here at UCR, so I know the power that you all hold on this campus. I know that you can all make a change, and I know that most of the time these bills that you usually pass have no meaning. They're usually just pieces of paper. This is a time where you can actually make a change. As an elected senator, your duty is to make change based on what your peers are telling you. Public forum and office hours, which you are required to hold, are used to speak to students and actually listen to their needs. This resolution was not rushed, as others may have pointed out earlier in the meeting. This has already been passed multiple times in this very chamber, and every single time it was passed, we were told no by administration because of the pressure from outside forces such as the Zionists who do not even go to this school. Today is your opportunity to stand up and say yes to BDS. If any of you are sitting here thinking, why are we talking about something that's happening thousands of miles away, it's because that tuition is directly funding this genocide. Your peers have spoken about how this genocide has directly affected them. People in this room have had family members murdered and killed before their very eyes. This did not start on October 7th. There was no peace on October 6th. There was no peace on October 5th. There was no peace on October 4th. And there has been no peace since 1948. Please use your power today to put a stop to funding this genocide and stand with your fellow peers today. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shada, and I'm a third-year sociology doctoral student here on behalf of the Iranian Student Association as a graduate student at the University of California here at Riverside. I'm here to remind you of what types of implications this bill has, not only for the students here on campus, but also as a direct action to relocate funds away from companies investing in the atrocities in Gaza. As an Iranian American and daughter of immigrants, I have seen the way my family, my peers around me, and I have grieved as we see our fellow Iranians get killed at the hands of the regime. We see the way the media makes us a spectacle as you watch and feel humbled that you do not have to bear our pain. Despite never living in Iran or in the Middle East, I cannot help but feel the weight of tragedy, the survival skills, the helplessness of those who must die trying to be heard. Even as I see people stand in solidarity, chanting women, life, freedom, and free Palestine, my heart breaks as I see people's activism dwindle into another trend. I am tired. I am tired of having to get you to care about me, about us. As Middle Easterners, why must we continue to normalize our suffering? How many more people need to die for us to become your problem? Since Mahsa Amini died, our Palestinian brothers and sisters have stood in solidarity against the atrocities of the Iranian government. On January 14th, Elahe Mohammadi, the reporter who helped spread the news of Mahsa's death, was released from prison after having been detained for more than a year. She was pictured holding up a peace sign and wearing a keffiyeh, smiling despite all of the pain she endured. Collective solidarity. This is what has allowed us for the world to hear our cries, as our oppressors have attempted to drown us in patriarchy and in white supremacy. Just as Mahsa Amini was killed fighting for her human rights, today over 30,000 Palestinians have been murdered at the hands of Israel, fighting to do the same. Gaza is under siege, and we must act now. Our actions of divestment here today will impact those abroad. We are coming to you, not asking for your sympathies or for your prayers. We have demands, and this bill serves as a reminder to Israel that we will not be complicit in their genocide and that we are actively working against their interests. As an institution that prides itself on centering the narratives of those who are often left unheard,
Good evening. My name is Dylan Rodriguez. I'm in my 23rd year here as a faculty member. I'm in the Department of Black Studies and the Department of Media and Culture Studies, but that is not the way in which I'm standing before you today. I'm standing before you today representing Faculty for Justice in Palestine here at UC Riverside. I stand before you today as a two-term chair of the UCR Academic Senate. I stand before you today as a member of the UC Ethnic Studies Faculty Council, 300 faculty strong across the UC system. I stand here today as a member of Scholars for Social Justice, a national organization. I'm also here today as a past president of the American Studies Association. And finally, I'm here today as the proud faculty advisor for Underground Scholars. I'm here to state my full, unequivocal, enthusiastic support for this boycott and divestment bill. I feel a deep sense of responsibility and obligation to Palestinians and the extended UCR and scholarly community who are targeted for their repression, who are targeted for suffering, who are targeted for extermination by Israel's ongoing colonial settlement and genocidal militarization against Palestinian life, culture, institutions, and collective existence. Part of that responsibility entails my own willingness to utilize all means at my disposal to circulate and expose information of all forms of institutional complicity in Palestinian genocide, including UCR and, if necessary, ASUCR. I urge you to recognize that this body must delink from its default loyalties to the genocidal state of Israel and disavow its obsequious deference to the political ideology and violent colonial fantasy of Zionism. Your actions in this moment are directly speaking to the historical record in a moment of accelerated, unprecedented atrocity. This is a time of genocide. Palestinian life and futurity is at stake. Support for a boycott and divestment campaign against a colonial genocidal state that is attempting to normalize mind-boggling scales of death and destruction is the bare minimum that this body can contribute. Thank you.
Hello, thank you all. My name is Anusha Kedar, and I am faculty in dance, and I'm proud to stand in solidarity with the students behind me in support of the resolution for boycott, divestment, and sanctions. I'm also here on behalf of the Faculty for Justice in Palestine, faculty who were in support but couldn't be here today, so I want to state their names for the record. Their names are Professor Kalina Michalska, Professor Crystal Peck, Professor Taisha Paget, Professor Anna Bedvezi, Professor Heather Rastava-Barzada, Professor Victoria Reyes, Professor Irul Sheikh, Professor Pat Morton, Professor Imani Kai Johnson, Professor Courtney Baker, Professor Shireen Hafez, Professor David Lloyd, Professor Trisha Remetier, Professor Jeff Sachs, Professor Mami McGarry, Professor Carlo Mancio, Professor Jack Lesra, Professor Marta Hernandez Salvan, Professor Olivia Mole. We all stand in solidarity with the resolution for boycott, divestment, and sanctions. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
It seems like that flag is very pokey towards your face. Okay, are you okay?
I like this flag. I think we all like this flag, right? Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Setsu Shigematsu. I am an associate professor in the Department of Media and Cultural Studies, and I am very proud and honored to be here tonight, not only as a member of the Faculty for Justice in Palestine, but as one voice among this beautiful collective of UCR students who are standing up and asking all of us to act out of our conscience to stop this ongoing genocide, which has been so horrific it is beyond words. Tonight, I'm standing here on behalf of not only Palestinian students, but I think every human being on this planet who has a conscience, who can see that this is the most horrific atrocity that I've ever seen in my lifetime. I have been part of this community since 2001, and I teach regularly on topics such as nuclear warfare, the bombing of Hiroshima, Agent Orange. We have seen this country commit atrocity after atrocity, and this has to end. We are in a historic moment. Here we are tonight at this hour past almost 9 o'clock, right? Are we past 9 o'clock in week 8 of the quarter? And we are standing here doing something that is actually unthinkable insofar as we are having to demand that we stop funding a genocide. Why should we have to be here tonight asking for our funds to stop killing babies, to stop suffocating seniors, to stop blowing off the limbs of fathers and brothers, to stop starving mothers who are trying to feed their children? This is an unbelievable moment, but this is a moment where we can rise together as part of the UCR community to say, end this funding of this genocide with our dollars. We have that control, and I'm asking with every cell in my being for you as senators, for you to represent the people in this room and the collective will that we are saying that we have the power to make a difference, okay? So I'm asking you to really listen to your conscience, to your heartbeat, because imagine there are people sitting in this room like Hiba, who I stand with, who have had to see so many of her family members massacred. And this has got to end. And so with that, I'm just asking everyone in the room, I know we're not supposed to clap, cheer, and shout from the bottom of our lungs to free Palestine, but you all have one power, one vote to make a difference in history. So I'm asking you to really think about that, and let's take the power that we have to help free our brothers and sisters who are being killed en masse because of our dollars. Thank you very much.
Is it okay with the members of the public if we just put both flags on the podium instead of the microphone? It seems like the microphone is being moved around a lot. I see a lot of nodding heads. Can we just put that on the podium? Both, yeah, both of them equally. Thank you.
Good evening. I would like to begin my statement by applauding the university system for including a land acknowledgement prior to any faculty or student event held on campus. I mean, as you should, right? This land did not once belong to us, but here we are, aren't we? You think if 200 years ago we had a civil movement to stop the genocide against the Native people and preserve their culture, they would be so little in number as they are today? I implore you, better yet, I advise you to not allow my people to be reduced to a mere land acknowledgement. At some university in Israel 100 years from now. Similar to not reducing the Palestinian people to a mere land acknowledgement. I'm sorry. Do not reduce us to a mere number today. Similar to how we don't want you to reduce us to a mere land acknowledgement, do not reduce us to a mere number today. This is no longer a war between Arabs and Jews. No longer Israel versus Palestine. It's no longer about the several movements for the freedom of Palestinians and the movements to uphold the Zionist entity in Israel. But it's you versus your humanity. With that humanity comes the freedom, human rights, and self-determination of the Palestinian people. It is no longer a conversation between right and wrong, rather as the great Palestinian poet and writer Hassan Kanafani once put it, for Palestinians it has become a conversation between the sword and the pen. I advise you to look behind me and look who is here for the truth, and look who has left within minutes as the meeting begins. Considering that today we have hit an all-time high for the price of flour that the world has ever seen, that price being 150 dead children per bag of flour, I strongly advise you to vote to divest from the state of Israel. Thank you.
horrors happening to their families and hearing the hurt and pain in their voices. Every morning before school, I wake up to the sounds of my mother having a panic attack, not being able to reach her mother, father, sisters, and brothers. A simple yes from you guys make a huge step in making this genocide come to an end. But regardless, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you for your time.
Are there any other members who would like to speak from the public? Please sign up. Not towards the not after the last year, just to create walking space, but we are open to anyone else who would like to speak.
My name is Yusuf. I'm a Palestinian University student from Gaza. In the past, I wasn't intending to speak today. It was not my intention to come up and speak, but seeing everybody else speak really gave me the feeling that I had to come out and speak to represent my family back in Gaza. I have almost 400 relatives back in Gaza. Out of all of them, 200 of my direct family members, my dad's cousins, my mom's cousins, my personal cousins, 200 have been killed. In just one bombing in Sheikh Radwan, I had 70 family members in an apartment building. The apartment collapsed on me. 70 of them died. Mark, some you couldn't even find their bodies. Some were so dismembered you couldn't identify them. So when you go and you appeal to support Israeli businesses to not divest from this university, it shows that you guys have no humanity. So if you guys want to show that you have humanity and you don't want to see 6-year-old kids, babies getting killed. I had a 6-year-old cousin crushed under a building. They could barely identify him. They pulled him out. There's nothing they can do. He's squished. If you guys have any sense of humanity, you go up and you represent. You represent for the human race. This is not a Palestinian problem. This is not a Arab problem. This is not a Muslim problem. This is a human issue. So if you have humanity, you're going to sign the divestment bill and help divest this whatever $1 million funding against Israel. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aaron Goodwin. I'm a graduate student and teaching assistant here at UC Riverside studying mathematics. The first speaker from Hillel said that he was going to be the only Jewish speaker. That's not true. I think I'm here because of my Jewish values, and I support Palestinian liberation because of my Jewish values. I think there's a lot of ignorance about Jewish history, but we're one of the oldest diasporic people, and we have a history that goes back thousands of years of being persecuted in Europe. And that's the history and the values that I learned growing up, the values of compassion, of justice, of tikkun olam, which means to repair the world. Israel is less than 100 years old. They do not represent Jewish people. They're a fascist state. Look at the news, they're killing people. I mean, it's heartbreaking to say that that represents Judaism is such a horrifying, disgusting lie. I also want to say this is not hasty. In 1986, the UC voted to divest from apartheid South Africa. 5 years later, apartheid fell in South Africa. Nelson Mandela said that the UC divesting was a catalyst for the end of apartheid. In 2013, Desmond Tutu, Archbishop, wrote specifically to the ASUCR body and urged them to vote for divestment. This is not hasty, this is long overdue. Free Palestine.
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of Colette, an organization here to support the undocumented students and providing a safe environment for them. And I'm here to support the boycott, divestment, sanctions resolution. It is our job as students
senators have the power to stand against these awful war crimes. This resolution is not seeking for discrimination against Israel or the Jewish community. What it seeks is to halt the funding of money and resources to Israel that allows them to continue these wars against humanity. As mentioned before, UCLA and Davis have both passed the BDS resolution and have divested over $20 million. It is now our school's turn to follow in their footsteps. We as students cannot ignore where our dreams are going. As a representative from Molet, I want to reiterate our support in favor of the BDS resolution, and we urge the senators to vote yes in divesting our student fees from companies complicit in genocide. It is crucial that we not allow our student fees to continue funding this genocide. We need divestment now. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Renee Fagan. I want my identity to be known because I see my ideology and stance on this issue as part of my identity. Also part of my identity is my ethnic background. As a Black American and child of a South African mother, I feel very strongly against the unethical, illegal apartheid occupation. It is not anti-Semitic to be anti-genocide. We have the opportunity here today to make a difference in this atrocity. As a political science major, it's very easy to feel as though minority voices receive no representation. But here, now, today, on this stance, we as UCR students are not a minority. America and the American dream is hypocritical. Here lies a small step to make it not so. As a country that believes in freedom and the right to opportunity, once again in this country's history, we take action to actively uphold the opposite. Thousands of families are gone. Hundreds of entire last names have been completely eradicated. A city that was once full of life and culture is now ugly. All this has been done through the greed and prejudice of a faulty colonial state built upon lies. As a South African against apartheid state, as a student who doesn't want my educational dollars to be used to kill innocent people, and as an American who wants to use their privilege to be on the right side of history and stand against ethnic cleansing, free Palestine. On behalf of the College Democrats at UCR, please boycott, divest, and teach. Thank you.
I'm Michael, and I come to you today as the Vice President of College Democrats at UCR. We basically do everything that the College Democrats does. We get people registered to vote, we host voter registration drives, we invite other politicians. But this year especially, it's been very, very, very noticeable that the voter turnout has definitely been lacking. And frankly, I can't blame the population. It's so easy to look around at the world right now, especially our country. We have a corporate duopoly that only believes in funding this genocide further. We have a government that's more interested in feeding the military-industrial complex than solving homelessness. We have a government that's more interested in saving the imperial machine than giving people universal health care. And we have a government that's more interested in genocide than the needs of its own people. But I think that this is an especially important moment for us today, in that when the chains of the machine, when the machine gets way too bloody, it's our job to put our bodies on the chains to keep from turning. And it's really important to recognize tonight that history is not written by politicians or the DNC or the RNC, but history is written by us, the people. And as the people, we have the power to make change. And as the ASUCR board tonight, you have an incredible opportunity to send a message, not only to this school, not only to this community, but to this entire country and to this entire world, that we want will not stand for genocide. We must boycott, divest, sanction, and on behalf of the College Democrats at UCR, we wholeheartedly support this resolution. From the river to the sea, Palestine be free. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Sayyid Mohammad Pakistani. I'm the Vice President of Pakistan Student Association. Someone who's a Pakistani and a Muslim who gets picked up a lot because of his religion and name is not ashamed to speak for the truth. And today I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to speak nothing else but the truth. As UCR prides itself in its diversity, yet it witnessed today and over the past few months, our voices are being silent. I am ashamed to pay tuition for a campus who has blood on his hands. And it's very easy to stand neutral in this while a genocide takes place. But remember, if you stand for nothing, what are you going to fall for? So tonight, I ask you all to vote and make a difference. Be the right side on the history. From river to sea, Palestine will be free.
Hello. I am a senior medical student at ASUCR. As a soon-to-be doctor, I feel compelled to advocate for the rights of those who endure not only physical pain, but also the violation of their basic right to health and basic care for life. I have taken an oath to do no harm. The principle of do no harm in medicine is not confined to individual patient care. It extends its benevolent reach to the broader arena of patient justice. As a doctor, I recognize that this ethical maxim serves as a powerful tool in our fight against injustices that plague healthcare systems worldwide, especially Palestine. The medical system in Gaza has collapsed, and the Palestinian people are suffering a deep injustice. Doctors and volunteers killed, surgeons forced to operate without anesthesia, unable to appropriately treat patients, amputating limbs, removing barely living fetuses from mothers, and having no appropriate medications to treat any pain or infection. The cries of agonizing pain and witnessing innocent people die in the hallways of demolished hospitals is a crime against humanity and goes against the idea of appropriate medical ethics. I urge you, let us stand together advocating for the rights of patients in Palestine, ensuring that our collective voice resonates in demanding not only medical assistance but also the restoration of dignity and humanity in this time of horrific atrocities. I urge you to support the end of patient suffering.
Hello, my name is Sophia. I'm a second company. I'm an ASUCR Senate intern. Though I Well, here they are now. They're here to tell you to vote yes on this legislation. They're here to tell you that they want ASUCR to be better. They want you to make ASUCR something they can be proud of. Something I can be proud of to be an engine for. Something that you can be proud of, that you make money off of. So yeah, sorry. So please vote yes on this bill. Because you guys are all talk, and you guys know that you're all talk, but now it's time to do something and actually influence something. Thank you.
I'm very proud of you.
Good evening. Tonight, I stand before you to advocate for a crucial stance on peace and justice. We cannot turn a blind eye to the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Palestine, where innocent lives are lost daily to the atrocities of genocide perpetrated by the Israeli government. It's time for you, senators, and us to take a stand by voting for BDS to divest from companies complicit in this tragedy. Our tuition money should not support such violence and oppression. Let us be on the right side of history by saying yes to BDS and no to funding genocide. Thank you for your attention and your commitment to justice.
Hello, I'm here as a UCR student of Muslim heritage, and I'm here to keep it concise. If you don't know how to vote after the evidence of terrorism and abuse that our Arab students have shared, I don't know how you can vote for anything at all. I demand that you see the humanity in our Palestinian students and be part of tangible action in opposition to this Israeli regime. There is no profit worth the bloodshed of human beings.
Hello everyone, my name is Nayeli Sandoval. I'm here. I know it was mentioned earlier today to take into consideration the communities that are impacted by voting for this resolution. As a first gen with parents who do work in these spaces, I think I want to really emphasize that we understand the struggle of what it means to be voiceless, to be under the power of people who feel entitled to our lives, to our identities, to our stories, to our culture. So today, you've heard so many stories, you've heard so many expressions that people have spoken, but like it was said before, you are in a position that holds a lot of power. Whether you think that for yourself or not, you do, and you all made the decision to be in this position. So today, the same way that so many have found the bravery to share the most vulnerable pieces of their stories, we ask you to really listen to them. You have a lot of power, so use it. Thank you.
Hello, former Chief Justice Donaldson.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Mohammed Al-Muazzin. I'm a UCR alumni, proud former Chief Justice of ASUCR, and an even more proud Highlander. I come here today in fervent support of this bill. The current genocide happening in Palestine does not need an introduction, and I am sure that you have all seen the videos coming out of Gaza. For many of you, there may be concern that your support over this bill will be misconstrued as an anti-Semitic act, given that its target is the state of Israel. However, I ask you to rationalize how slippery a slope it would be to not punish any genocidal regime on the misguided basis that the actions of a government represent a global faith. In the same manner with which we rightly condemn the Islamic Republic of Iran for its abuses without worrying about Islamophobia, to condemn the Israeli state for its abuses is not anti-Semitic. In the same way we condemn the Islamic Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for its human rights abuses without worrying about Islamophobia, it is not anti-Semitic to condemn and sanction the Israeli government's murder of innocent civilians. In the same way we condemn the Buddhist governments of Rohingya, the Christian government of Russia, the evangelical American far right, or any other government, it is ludicrous to allow Israel's genocide to go unpunished because of a misguided claim of anti-Semitism. In 2022, UCR SJP passed divestment through this very body. In 2018, we passed divestment through this body. In 2016, we passed divestment through this body. In 2015, we passed divestment through this body. This is not an unprecedented action for ASUCR to stand with human rights. UC Riverside is one of the most, if not legitimately the most, diverse campus in California and the country. And since 2013, it has been a pioneer in the representation of Palestinian students with the establishment of the MESC. As the elected members of the Senate, it is you who are charged with ensuring that that representation lives on, that those students are protected, and that the values of diversity and human rights are upheld without room for intimidation or fear. The resolution before you today, or rather the bill, calls on you to stand by the land acknowledgement, which you recite before every meeting in sanctioning the systemic genocide of a Native population. The resolution before you today tasks you with... Do not want that on these. The resolution before you today calls on you to stand by that land acknowledgement. The resolution before you today tasks you with upholding the dignity of your Palestinian students. The resolution before you will serve as a testament that when faced with making the choice to sanction a brutality that will one day be studied in the very history courses of this school, when it is asked, how did the senators of this administration stand with humanity, with or silently against, the next time you see a video of a Palestinian mother crying over her infant, a child, blood, 10 more seconds.
Senator Narasimha.
I need to extend time by 1 minute.
Senator Peter, if you can pass the mic.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstain? Sorry, that seemed like a very intense moment.
It's all right. It's all right. You know what? The resolution before you will serve as a testament that when faced with making the choice to sanction a genocide that will one day be studied in the very history courses of this school, when it is asked how did the senators of this year's administration stand with humanity, with or silently against, the next time that you see a video of a Palestinian mother crying over her infant, a child bloodied and crying over their parents, or a father digging with his own hands through the rubble, and you ask yourself, what did you do? This resolution will serve as an answer. I urge that you stand with humanity. Thank you, Senator.
That felt awkward speaking after that power of that cop. But is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak? Last chances. Want to skip over anybody? No, I see none. Moving on to finance. Finance meeting minutes number 7. I'm sorry, it's at the end of the agenda, y'all. Finance meeting minutes number 7. Can I get a motion to open up finance meeting minutes number 7? Senator Cologne.
Finance meeting number 7.
Can I get a second? Chaz, Senator Ho.
I second the motion.
He seconds that motion. Is anyone opposed? Sina, Senator Ho.
So here are finance meeting minutes number 7. We opened up our organization contingency balance with $31,197. We allocated $5,331 to organizations, which passed voting 401. We discussed using ASUCR allocations for Highlander newspaper advertisements, which did not pass, voting 401. Model United Nations came in for a grant for $1,000 for their conference, which passed voting 401. In total, we allocated $6,331, and we closed with $24,866. And our ASUCR contingency balance stayed the same as we did not allocate any money there.
Thank you so much, Tina, Senator Ho. Senators, do you have any questions for finance meeting minutes this week? No? Can I get a motion? Senator Nader?
I move to approve finance hearing minutes number 7.
A second, Senator P.D. Kale.
Second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 15-0-0. Thank you so much, Senate. All right, moving on to the Legislative Review Committee. Can I get a motion to open up all documents related to LRC? Sina, Senator Ho.
I move to open up all documents related to LRC.
A second, Senator Khan.
I second that motion.
All those in, sorry, no. Is anyone opposed? Okay. I'm sorry. President Pro Tem Choi.
This is SBW 24008. This is a administrative events project update to the Transfer Student Director bylaw bill. Going through this, there are corrections to standardize the term length of the director position, amending deals with responsibilities, and deleting sections 11 through 13 because those are committees that no longer belong to this director position and have been moved to another position. Would any of the primary authors like to speak on this?
Yeah, just to reiterate what President Choi said, it's a pretty procedural change to finalize to reflect the current position.
Due to some procedural errors that were taken, that I have found, and some steps that weren't taken in passing the Senate bill, it is going to be tabled to go back to the Transfer Student Committee. Just for those who are wondering, all changes to committees must get a 2/3 vote from the committee before it is presented to LRC, before it is presented to Senate. Right, Chief Justice Cacker? I'm getting a nod. So this must be tabled. Senate, can I get a motion to table? Senator Narasimhan.
I motion to table SBW 24-008.
Senator Narasimhan says she motions to table SBW 24-008. Can I get a second? Senator Nguyen.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those opposed? All those abstain? Motion passes 15-0-0. Did non-traditional student did they have official meetings? Yes. Can I move to call recess for 5 minutes? Yeah, I move to call for a 5-minute recess. Senate, Senator Hayter requested for a recess. Is there a motion? President Pro Tempore Choi. President Pro Tempore Choi moves to call for a recess for 5 minutes. Can I get a second? Senator Colon. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 15-0-0. I have a feeling that will be the Chief Justice, please.
Just kidding.
I move to rescind the vote for SBW 24008.
Second, Senator Khan.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Motion passes 15-0-0. We already heard from the primary authors. Are there any questions from the Senate? If not, I will make a motion. President Pro Tempore Choi.
I move to approve SBW 24.
second. Senator Narasimhan.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 15-0-0. Moving on to SBW 24009, President Pro Tempore Choi.
Hi again, this is FCW 24009. This is within the Project of Administrative Amendments Project to update ASUCR bylaws to be current to the Constitution and also modern guidelines. Big things for this bill is to just standardize names and having the committee name to be non-traditional student committee. And another notable change is at the very end for underground scholars, I can't find it right now, but to amend that representatives to not only be, to be from someone who's impacted by the justice system and not just limited to someone who's incarcerated. That is all.
Are there any questions from the Senate? A motion? Senator Sue, if we can get the microphone to you. Senator Sue moves to approve SBW 24009. Can I get a second? Senator Khan?
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 15-0-0. Moving on to SBW 24011. President Pro Tempore Choi.
Hi again. This is SBW 24011, also with the Administrative Amendments Project to update this bill. Notable changes for this is the new clause for all external executive committee staff appointments to be done through an application process. This was not previously amended before, and this is due to finance nepotism. If any other primary relatives would like to come forward and speak about it some more, feel free to come ahead.
Do we still have the microphone for the public?
Hello again. President Pro Tempore Choi, I have sent the meeting minutes for external vote taken on this, so please refer to them if needed. We can report. But yeah, essentially this goes ahead and makes things a bit more easier when it comes to hiring an external to avoid any kind of nepotism. I guess it's also worth mentioning that I do find it very appropriate for external to be part of this week's agenda, since there is a lot of focus around advocacy and grassroots organizing, as we saw today. Just out of curiosity, for how many people is their first Senate? You can raise your hand. First Senate meeting. Okay, cool. So I will say, I encourage folks who are not part of ASUCR to read over the bylaws. It is how ASUCR is supposed to operate, and we are here because of your right to vote us in, and you also have the right to take us out. So if you feel that none of us or one of us is not doing our jobs, please exercise that right. We are here to be held accountable, and as you read through externals bylaws, you can see, and you might be familiar with, our whole job is around grassroots organizing, advocacy, and representing underserved communities and students. So, with that being said, it's very important that we also combat any nepotism in all offices, not just external, since when it comes to hiring, and as Sophia briefly mentioned in her public comment, we always go ahead and want to bring people to the space and getting more people involved. When to be quite frank, this is probably the biggest student interaction we're going to have ever in ASUCR space. So we have to be cognizant of that. We have to be intentional about what it is we're doing as an association, and we need to hold ourselves accountable because we just want to secure an election position for next year. So that being said, if you have any questions, please let me know or ask my lovely staff to join me today.
Are there any questions from the Senate? How about a motion? Senator Sue, we can get a microphone to you. Or I can just see you. opposed? All those abstain? Motion passes 15-0-0. Moving on to SRW 24004, President Pro Tempore Choi.
Again, SRW 24004 is a resolution that is in support of regulating automatic textbook billing. This resolution was brought to me by CalPERC to oppose the administration's deals with enforcing opt-out textbook billing. This would be an automatic subscription service put onto every single student to force them to play a flat fee to basically have access to textbooks on campus. The purpose of this resolution is to have ASUCR oppose it and have this subscription service to be opt-in rather than opt-out, therefore allowing students to have the choice of whether or not they want to pay for these services. There are no current authors. Current president, I am representing for them. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions from the Senate? I have a question. You said, so are you automatically enrolled and then you have to opt out, or is it you have to opt in?
Yes, that is correct. Everyone will be automatically enrolled into this program.
What if students are not informed and not at a financial state where they can do this program and they don't know how to opt out?
That is why we are opposed to it.
Oh, you're opposed to it? Just wanted to make that very clear. All right. A motion? Senator Ho.
I move to approve SRW 24004.
A second, Senator Pedicchio.
I second that motion.
She seconds that motion. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstain? Motion passes 14-0-1. I'm sorry, I did not see his hand. Can we please do a we'll do a revote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstain? Motion passes 13-0-2. Moving on to why most people are here. SRW 24005, President Pro Tempore Choi.
Welcome everybody. This is the person that you all been waiting for. This is SRW 24005, a resolution to boycott and divest of Israel and corporations complicit in ongoing genocide in Gaza. I would like to offer the primary authors to speak on for this legislation. Who would like to go first?
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to be speaking on this as well, the primary author and an LRC representative. So essentially, this is SRW 24005, or ASUCR boycott and divestment from Israel and corporations complicit in the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Essentially, this resolution aims to enact an association-wide divestment of funds from companies and corporations complicit in this genocide and the existing apartheid state. This resolution can essentially be divided into topic sections. We first introduce the legislation with the definition of boycotting and the BDS list, followed by evidence pertaining to the ongoing genocide, human rights violations, and overall apartheid state enacted by the Israeli government, then followed by past resolutions and historical political protests in the UC. Specifically, UCR has a long history of supporting and uplifting its Palestinian community through resolutions of solidarity, as well as the former 2022 resolution calling for similar divestment that did pass but was never fully implemented. Though the divestment movement in terms of BDS has existed formally since 2014, as mentioned by the many public forum speakers. Also mentioned by the public forum speakers for some historical context was an example of these UC-specific whereas sections, which includes the 1986 UC-wide divestment of $3 billion from companies and corporations complicit in the South African apartheid. So clearly there is that historical precedent of boycott in the UC. Recently, UC Davis and UCLA have passed similar resolutions, leading the way towards a similar UC-wide initiative regarding the apartheid state in Palestine. Lastly, our resolve section of the resolution has specific calls to actions, which includes an outline BDS list followed by UC Davis and UCLA, as well as institutional logistical changes on the ASUCR end to ensure that ethical spending habits are enacted by the association and that this resolution is fully implemented and abided by so long as these are the existing international conditions. And that being said, this will also be accompanied by a bill that we will be voting on after this. And I would be happy to answer any questions by senators prior to voting. Who's ready to speak?
I'm prepared to answer any questions.
Senate, do you have any questions? If not, I believe at least Senator Hitter, I don't know if you are also, but the primary office are asking if Senate can move into closed session for deliberation and votes to protect the senators in this specific, well, in SRW 24005 accompanying bill. Yes, as established by the precedent by UC Davis and UCLA, I would like to move to have this vote in a closed session. Sounds good. Is that okay with you as well? Yeah. Was that a motion? Can I get a second? Senator Narasimhan.
I second that motion.
I second that motion. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstain? Motion passes 15-0-0. Heba, if we have any questions, someone will text you. To the members of the public, we will be back after deliberation. Thank you so much for your patience.
doubt it. I doubt it. It's all low. I think I'm low. Yeah. It's just the one that say no. The one that say no, they just want to show their face. They just want to get.
I might as well say yes because you know it's gonna pass it.
Hey, I'm not part of the board. I don't know nothing.
Why isn't there any like everyone wants to know like I thought there was like that's crazy. Oh, my bad. It's her. Wait, we said after this then we're done. Oh, that's the last one? You guys still voting?
Yeah, I'm not there. I'm not there.
Yeah.
You legit don't have time?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
I'm a businessman. Honestly, it's so easy. I'm studying for shit. I'm looking at that picture. Hey.
Quick announcement, when they're gonna come back, they're gonna tell us what the decision was on the vote for the resolution. We can celebrate for a second, but they're still gonna have to talk about the bill, go back for a closed session to vote on the bill. Once the bill is passed, then we can finally celebrate, but we wanna keep in mind that we're still waiting for the vote on the bill.
There's no traffic.
Sorry, I'm holding in.
Well, I mean, they were passing the first time.
Thank
Everybody, just scroll down a little bit. I would like to make a friendly amendment to add secondary authors to this legislation.
Okay, I know we can't see the changes, but there is a list of secondary offers that would like to be added to show further support. So can I get a motion? Senator Hayter? Your motion. Because she called for a motion.
I move to add the list of secondary authors. Can I get a second, Senator Connor?
Second that motion.
He seconds that motion. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstain? Motion passes 15-0-0. Okay, now with that, we're going to move into a closed ballot voting. Can my chief of staff please collect, senators, listen, just your resolution vote, one vote.
idea of it is adding ethical spending clause to chapter 35 of the ASUCR bylaws. If the primary author would like to take it away.
Thank you. All right, hello again, everybody. So essentially, this is, as President Pro Tem Choi stated, a further implementation on the ASUCR end of things to ensure that this BDS list is actually followed and that these ethical spending guidelines that we have implemented in that previous resolution are actually, continued for years to come or so long as they are necessary. And this bill just serves to introduce the ethical spending clause, and in the new section 4, under Article 1 of Chapter 35 of the ASUCR Financial Autonomy Act within our bylaws. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm just here for any questions.
Just because there is nothing listed on the board, I'm going to read out the newly created section. This is Section 4, ASUCR's Commitment and Policy on Ethical Spending, or PES. Article 1 of Section 4 states that ASUCR funds shall not be committed to the purchase of or the reimbursement of products or services of any corporation identified by the BDS list as being complicit in the violation of the human rights guaranteed to Palestinian civilians under international law. Article 2 of Section 4 states that ASUCR professional staff and the Vice President of Finance shall ensure compliance with the policy and commit to an annual review, as well as maintaining an updated list of restricted vendors and corporations, those of which are identified by the BDS list, that shall be regularly provided to all student groups and departments and any student within the reimbursement request form and upon request. Requirements, if any, for an annual review or audit of spending by each ASUCR unit, committee, commission, office, and HQ. And that is just an elaboration on the previous article. Are there any questions from the Senate? Are we ready for a vote? Okay, can I get a motion? Senator Hayter. I move to approve SBW 24012. Second, Senator Khan.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
I'm so sorry, it's a closed session.
That was just a trick question. Can you please collect the ballots? Just making sure everyone's still paying attention and awake. SBW 24012 passes 15.
We do have 3 grants to get through. The Senate and I would like to get through 3 grants so we can amend the meeting. Moving on to Green Campus Action Plan. Sorry. Ellen, do you want to start? So, moving on to the first green grant of this week, Green Grant Basic Needs TerraCycle, Senator Narasimha. Okay, so the purpose of the TerraCycle grant is to help ASUCR with the goal to divert 90% of the municipal solid waste. Sorry, my secretary can't hear me. 1 second. If we can all please quiet down for the rest of the meeting. Okay, go ahead. So this is the TerraCycle project. So the purpose of this project is to help UCR with the goal to divert 90% of the municipal solid waste from the landfill. So the project will place TerraCycle boxes in the R pantry where they're constantly receiving shipments with goods from restaurants that are wrapped in plastic. So this is in the category of waste production, and last year we had a TerraCycle event at multiple UCR residence halls where they collected unwanted items from students moving out. So feel free to look through this document. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me or our VPS Sustainability, and the total funds requested was $2,000. Are there any questions? How about a motion? Senator Petey Hill. Was that an hand? Okay. A second, Senator Nguyen.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 15-0-0. Moving on to the second green grant of this week. So the second, GCAP Earth Week Festival, Senator Narasimha. Yes, so this is the GCAP Earth Week 2024. So we are requesting $20,000, and the purpose of Earth Week is to educate and raise awareness on Earth Day. And there's multiple events throughout the week that focus on sustainable administration, environmental conservation, and environmental justice. So if you have any questions, this will be a very large quantifiable impact. We're expecting about 300 plus student attendance. So a lot of funding is going to go to the 1 week of events and materials needed for those events. Thank you so much, Senator Narasimha. Is there any questions? How about a motion? Senator Khan?
Move to approve Green Grant number 2.
Can I get a second? Senator Shaw? All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 15-0-0. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak?
Hello. Hi. So I wanted to thank the Senate for going ahead and taking in and listening to the concerns of students and standing in solidarity with the Palestinian community today. It was a very emotional day, as you all saw. I just want you to realize the magnitude of what just occurred in this chamber, since we are the 3rd campus in the UC to pass a divestment resolution and the 2nd to codify it into our bylaws. So be very mindful that this is one of those impacts that create tangible change and uplifting marginalized communities. And I hope you all to join us in External's continual efforts to go ahead and uplift the story of Palestinian students and the issues that they're facing. As you can see, they're very happy inside. I know my staff is very happy as well, and I would like to thank everyone who went ahead and helped advocate for this, because this is the only way we're going to get things done. And you should be proud of yourselves. It's very exciting to hear that, everyone.
I just want to tell you guys that you did the right thing, and I'm very grateful. I know I called you guys out earlier, but sometimes you have to do that for things to actually get done. I respect all of you guys. You took a little too long for a unanimous vote, but we waited and we're grateful. So we're all going to celebrate tonight. Thank you.
Hello. Sorry I'm emotional right now. I just wanted to extend my deepest gratitude to all of ASUCR for passing divestment. I hope you guys know you're the second school in the nation to pass divestment as a bill. Thank you. You guys made history tonight. My family thinks you back home. Thank you for standing in support of your students. We appreciate you. On behalf of every student that came here today, thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak?
I just want to say thank you on behalf of all the students outside who are like going crazy right now. 15-0 is actually insane. I've never seen that happen, especially for a resolution this big. You should all be very, very proud of yourself. I know we all are. So take some time to celebrate with us outside. We're waiting. So wrap it up.
Hi, I'm a super senior. I did my whole undergrad here and I did my PhD here. This is the #1 ASUCR I have witnessed in my
Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak?
No, come on.
Okay. We will accept that invite in just a second. Is there any roundtable or announcements from the Senate?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do the boring one first. Reminder to submit LRC 1159. I'm gonna do my boring one first. I'm stealing from Abby and it's part of LRC. Reminder to submit any legislation tonight, 1159, which is good during 4 years. And also I'd like to thank my colleagues in Senate for voting yes on this. Like truly, this means a lot to me personally. It means a lot to the UCR community. It means a lot to the Arab and the Muslim, but also just the UCR community as a whole. Like truly, I thank you guys so much. You've been my peers since, you know, fall quarter, some of you guys longer, those of you who are in the college program or whatnot. And I truly thank you guys so much for this. This means the world to me. So. Thank you for that, you guys.
We love you.
Alrighty, any other roundtables or announcements?
So next week, this was an amazing night tonight. But aside from that, on Monday, in honor of Women's History Month, we're going to have an event from 4:30 to 6:30 with a lot of resources for